Hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's talk. So today and tomorrow we are going to talk about power. And normally power is often understood as something over some being more superior to somebody or controlling somebody. But the power that we are talking about is in the context of our inner warrior. What that means is that power is a capacity, our capacity to withstand, survive, and thrive in different situations. So, whatever we do, we bring in some kind of an energy, some kind of a strong energy, and that is the energy that we are calling as power. And all of us have personal power, and it is not related to how many things you have or how strong you are physically, though of course these things contribute, but it is more related to how you feel in your heart. It is very closely related to what we talked about yesterday, both courage, shaurya, and patience, dharya. So shaurya and dharya both are very strongly related to your personal power, and it allows you to work with the others, which is the dharma or righteousness, karma, which is action, which allows you to take action, which allows you to hold your anger and place it ahead, and it also allows you to forgive. So power is that energy, that basic energy that we require to be able to awaken this warrior and act like a warrior. So today and tomorrow we are going to talk about how this power is gained, how this power is lost, what are the things that we can do to prevent our own loss of power, and what are the things that we can do to gain power. So I would like to share this with you in terms of what constitutes my personal power, your personal power. One of the very important things about power, or what constitutes is your self awareness. If you understand that what are the things that are important to you, what are the things that are dear to you, who are you, how do you show up in the world, then you can become aware of what kind of power do you have. So self awareness, in very brief sense, is, do you know what is important to you, what are your values? And when I say values, I don't mean the universal, I don't mean just the universally accepted things such as honesty and compassion and so on, but what is it that is important to you? Is knowledge important to you? Is creativity important to you? Is collaboration more important to you, or achievement more important to you? And there is no moral judgment here. We are not saying that you should be collaborative, but what are your values? Are you aware of them? Are you aware of what you want, what you like to do? Do you like to speak? Do you like to write? Do you like to paint? Do you like to assemble some things? Do you like to heal others? Do you like to have caring conversations? What is it that you like to do? What are your passions? What are your aspirations? What all do you want in life? Do you want to be famous? Do you want to have a nice, quiet life? Do you want to achieve something? What are your aspirations? How much do you fit in the environment in which you are? So, for example, I may like to write, but I may want a quiet place to sit and write, or I may like to write in nature, and maybe natural resources are not available around. So, how much do I fit in different kinds of environment? That will decide how comfortable or uncomfortable I am, and therefore how much I am able to work with my passion. What are my reactions to different things, to different situations? How do I react to somebody who is very loud? How do I react to somebody who speaks very softly? How do I react in different kinds of situations? What are some of the patterns in which I work which shows my capabilities? For example, if I become too afraid in a conflict situation, then obviously even if I knew how to handle conflict, that is not a capability that I have. And what is my impact on others? Now, what has this got to do with power? What has self-awareness got to do with power? When I walk into a room, say I walk into a room where there are a lot of people, how I feel in that room, what I believe, how do I express, how do I stand up, who all do I go to will depend upon how self-aware I am and what is the experience that I'm going to gain as a result of doing or taking that action. That is the reason why self-awareness is extremely important for understanding the kind of personal power we have. Then, what are my beliefs about my own power? Here, the beliefs are different from the beliefs we are talking about in self awareness. What are my beliefs about my personal power? Do I believe that I can influence a certain set of people? Certain people like me? What kind of people like me? Where am I more successful? Do I believe in myself? Then, what is my body orientation? So I may, if I feel powerful, automatically my body, my face will be, will will work accordingly. So what is my body orientation? Do I slouch? Am I able to sit up straight? Can I keep a pleasant face? What kind of orientation comes from my face, my hands, how I move my hands, how do I stand, how stiff are my legs, am I able to, how do I sit, how do I stand? All that body orientation also contributes to personal power. So a question that you might want to look at is, in terms of what is your personal power, how self-aware are you? And a good exercise to do is actually take all these seven. Think about places where you want to show your personal power. Think about places where you're not able to show your personal power, and look at your values and passions and aspiration and fit and reactions, patterns and impact. That will tell you how self-aware are you. It might also give you some insights into where you feel powerless, where you feel that you're not being able to exercise what you have or share what you want to share or resolve what you want to resolve. Also, make a list of beliefs about your personal power. Where do you feel powerful? Where do you feel powerless? Where do you feel neither? Where do you need somebody to encourage you? Where do you feel you can stand up yourself and go and do it? And also, watch your body orientation. Look at how much grounded are you? Are you connected to the earth? Do you feel stable and do you stand straight? What happens to you in different situations? What are the sensations on your chest? What are the sensations in your hands? What are the sensations in your legs? This will give you a fair idea about how much personal power you have and how much, what all do you need to do to increase your power. We are all born with a personal power. We all have personal power. Then where does it get lost? Why do we lose it? There are three reasons why we lose personal power. One of them is attribution. So when I win an award, for example, or when I achieve success, or when I am able to fulfill that, what do I attribute it to? Yes, many of our efforts are as a result of a combined effort, but we have our contribution. So how much, what do we attribute to ourselves and to others? That is one. The second is, how much of this attribution is to our hard work? How much of this attribution is to our ability? How much do we understand the difficulty, the task difficulty? And how much do we attribute this to luck? That can take away your personal power if you attribute everything to one of these. For example, if you attribute everything to hard work, places where you will not have too much time to work, you will think it's not going to happen. If you give too much attribution to effort, then you will lose your own belief in your ability. If you attribute it to the external, which is the task difficulty, too much, then you will not take risks. You will not stretch out yourself. If you don't attribute it to the task difficulty, every failure you will blame it on yourself. So all of these factors will take away your personal power. The second that takes away your personal power is trauma. If you have faced situations where you have felt helpless and you have neither been able to fight or able to run away from the situation, you are frozen. And if you have not worked with that frozen feeling, you will feel anxious even when there is no need to feel anxious. You will read cues which actually mean nothing. And therefore, you will lose your power in such situations. So trauma is something that with which you can lose your power, and your childhood experiences. What were you encouraged for? What were you not encouraged for? What were you punished for? Why is all this important? Because when we do our work and when we talk about how do I gain power, you need to keep all of these in mind and accordingly work with them. Another thing that takes away your personal power is the role that you adopt. And when I say role here, I mean role in a particular situation. Do you see yourself as a victim in a situation? So you tried doing something, you were neglected or you were punished, or somebody did not behave appropriately with you, or you were discriminated against. You have felt like a victim. Now if you play a victim in every situation, then every other person who is, say, ignoring you, criticizing you, giving you a negative feedback will appear like a persecutor, and anybody who tries to help you out will be a rescuer. And this drama triangle keeps playing out again and again and again. What to do about it? That we will see in the next video, which is tomorrow. But essentially, really understanding that in a situation, how am I, if I take a victim stance, how am I keeping the situation going? How am I following this? How am I treating everything that is happening around, and how am I attributing? For example, a victim will generally attribute it either to the lack of ability and effort, or attribute it to the outside, the external, the task difficulty, the other people, and so on. This does not allow the victim to then take responsibility and work. And therefore, anybody who seems to be in the way becomes a persecutor, and anybody who is helping to save you will become a rescuer, and it will keep going. So with this, I would like you to reflect on today on how are the ways in which your personal power gets taken away, and what are the ways in which you gain personal power. And we will talk in more detail about it tomorrow.
Help Talks are daily health related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information, visit www.healthlibrary.com. Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health.